Last time we did this question, I found an easier way to do it. So we're gonna go over here again and do the easy way because I think this is the way they intended. I finally found the equation I was looking for yesterday, which is Pn equals C parentheses nx px q n minus x. And this is kind of a savior in the probability section. So this one in page 67, I would recommend you look at that one. This will save you a lot of time. For example, this question, you don't even have to think about the whole thing. You just have to say, okay, we know that we want 4 and 3, right? So it's going to be P equal, equal probability. So the combination of 4 comma 3, P, X is the 3, right? And then Q is 4 minus 1, so it's 1. And that's all you have to do continuously for this thing. So, and what is P and Q is the question, right? P and Q is basically probability distribution. So that's all you have to do basically. You have to just figure out what PQ is, which in this case is 0.5, 0.5, because half a toss is all they do. But you kind of see where we're going at this, right? So, um, yeah, that's what we basically have to do. This is the easier way to do it. Because you can read plug and chug at this point. And P is probability of failure, and P is probability of success. And it's a 50-50 on the flip coin, right? So in that sense, you can do a 4-3 again. And then it is 1/2 cubed, 1/2, and this is basically equivalent to saying uh, C 4 comma 3 parentheses 2 to the 4th power, which is what we did last time in the last video, which this over here is defined by another probability distribution over here with the combination. And also don't confuse yourself with permutation. So combination is Ni divided by Ri parentheses n minus r parentheses I. But as you know, r is x in this case, so just minus those two and change them with the x for this, and you have the same formula as before. And let me just write over here that this is that. So we can just keep on using it for the probability section because we will be just dowsing this thing. We'll just be continuously using this one for the next few section because that's the equation I was looking for last night and I couldn't find it. And I was like, what's going on? That's the way to do everything. Yeah. So um, we already did this one and this one was not using that, but we'll use this. If the probability is 52 that the female, so probability is 52. So it's 0.52, right? And then what you do is 1 minus that. So what do we want? What's the probability of exactly 2 of the female being male? So the male is a success, right? Not the other way around, if I remember correctly. So in this situation, it would be Pn equal parentheses C parentheses. So total is 7 comma 2 parentheses P of probability of 2, and then Q is probability of n minus x. What is n? N is 7 minus 2. So that is 5. In that case, what is P? P is the probability of it being male. So it is 1 minus 0.52, and then it should be equivalent saying P is equal to 0.52. So in this case, you would have Pn equal to 7.2. P is equal to 1 minus 0.52, parentheses square. Q is 0.52, parentheses 5. So with that said, we just have to plug and chug over here. So let me just erase this over here and put the 7i, so it's a 2i, so it's a 5i, and then this is 7i. Okay, so that's it. Now the problem is I don't know how to do a exclamation mark on my calculator on my TI 36X because that's what they allow me to use. So I'm gonna pause here and try to figure it out. If I can't, I'm gonna do the old-fashioned way, but on the test day I want to figure it out. Oh, I figured it out. So there's a button over here in the middle. So if you look over here and this button over here, you see that? It took me a while. I don't know how I missed that. But you can take the answer and expedite it like this and then enter it. And that's the main error, but you get the point. And it looks like there's a way to do second to make NCR. I have no idea how to use NCR yet, so yeah, that's gonna be fun when I figure it out. But for now, we can just use 7i divided by 2i, which is just 2, divided by 5i, multiplied by parentheses 1 minus 0.52, parentheses squared, multiplied by parentheses 0.52, square root of 5, parentheses, which gives you 0.18, which is B, 184. See that? So we know what this answer is. Yeah. Took me a while to find that button, actually. Anyways, took me a long time to find the proper equations too. What is the approximate this is painful one. So it's what's the probability of no two people in a group of 7 having the same birthday? So this is gonna be also a success, not success. No, this won't be. So there's two people. two people, right? Two to seven distinct birthdays. So in this case, it's just a multiplication, I think. Because you're gonna have to find 365, right? That's the approximate date. If you do 364, 363, 36, I don't think it chat matters because the answer choices are so ranged that even if you mistake that, you will be fine. It's gonna be 365, right? There's gonna be 100% chance, and then you're gonna have 364 divided by 365, and then down seven times, right? So it's gonna be parenthesis divide. So in reality, it's gonna be a high number, so it's gonna either be 92 or 94. So we can get rid of B and A, and then yeah, um, yeah. So 365 divided, that's just one. So 364. So I have to do this seven times. Oh, this is gonna be fabulous. So I'm gonna guess D anyways because that sounds like a pain in the ass and it looks like seven people. The denominator is like such a huge number. I doubt that it would be lower. So if I were a guessing man in the test and I don't have time, I'll just put D and move on because I'm too lazy to actually do it in my calculator. But since we're in here, we will just do it because why not? I'm not lazy today, so 61, 365. So what is it? So I need to do it six times, right? Because the first one is already done for. So minus six is up to 59. So I have to do it a few more times. Multiply by division. 360 divided by 365. Multiplied by, oh my God, so many digits. 60, no, 59, we're done. Okay, 59 divided by 360. There's no way that my answer, 0 point, so it was 0.94, 3764297. So basically it was D, and my guess was right. I didn't have to do all that. So the probability of this happening is basically, no, there's only one day. So this is one. That's probably a success. And Q is a failure date, which is 364 divided by 365. So you plug that in there. So in the end of the day, this is basically I think it's 7i divided by 2i, 5i, parentheses. Isn't this the same numbers that we use? So whatever, it doesn't matter. Multiplied by 1 over 365, parentheses 2, uh, and then it will be 364 divided by 365, 5. So that is uh 7. And then we're just plugging it into the calculator. 7i, 2i, which is just 2, so we don't need to write anything special for that. Multiplied by 5i, parentheses, division 1 over 365, parentheses, square 2, parentheses, division 364 divided by 365, parentheses, square multiplied by 5, which is 0.0115, which in my case is D. And that's what I got. So I'm just gonna I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's an intuitive way. Nah, there isn't. Just accept that as D and move on. You can't have an intuitive version. If you look over there, that is basically the whole thing. I don't really think there's an intuitive version of that. If there is, no, there isn't. So this one is saying that instead of the same day, we are gonna have basically similar, like probability of the other day. So here's the thing. Last time we had five choices, but now there is another. So there's two choices for it to succeed, and then there's additional chances happening. So what that means is our equation over here has to be a little bit modified. So our P equals C, which is what was it again? Uh, 7 2, right? 7 2 parentheses. Our P stays the same, the square, but our Q n minus x is different because after every single failure, the ratio of the failed decreased by 1. So originally, if it had 364 failed chances, now there's another add-on birthday in it. So you are decreasing the fail capacity. So let me just write out what I'm saying. So we know C, how do you write it? So C n comma x, right? And we have 1 divided by 365 squared. That was from previously. The success rate multiply each other because it needs the same date. But the fail rate initially was 364 divided by 365. Now, we originally times it by 5, but that's no longer true because it's not the same day. You're adding, imagine this. There's 2 days now after the first fail. So what we have to do is basically say 7, 2, 1 divided by 365 square, and then 364 divided by 365, and then 363 divided by 365, and we have to do that well, the first fail was this, so five times. It's 2 divided by 365, and then 361 divided by 365, and then 360 divided by 365. And that should get you the right answer. And I don't want to plug into my calculator, which is why I'm stalling. I don't think anyone wants to plug it into a calculator because it's probably a pain in the ass to do. Oh, I finally figured out how to do this. That's cool. The CNR. So with CNR, we can now multiply by parentheses division. 364 divided by 365, parentheses multiplication, parentheses division, 363, divided by 365, parentheses, divided by 362, divided by 365, parentheses division, 361, divided by 365, parentheses, still multiplication, who cares? Divided by 360, divided by 365, and hopefully the syntax doesn't screw me over. I get a wrong answer because of the syntax. Oh my God, the syntax actually does matter. 21, parentheses, sorry, I'm gonna have to do it again. 64 divided by 365, multiplied by division, 363, divided by 365, multiplied by division, 362, 365. I'm shocked that the syntax actually did matter for this calculator. I guess that's why they allow this calculator, because syntax is a skill I need to learn, apparently. Can I actually guess the answer? I probably can guess the answer from just knowing like the probability landscape. Wait, did I make a mistake? I get the same answer. Oh, I forgot. Multiply by parentheses 1 divided by 365 parentheses square. Okay, the syntax did not matter. I'm just being a fool. Okay, here's the answer. So this is the answer. Does any other answer look like that? Kind of. This one looks like that. And I'm tempted to believe that's correct. Um, Mostly because, well, it does not seem right, but I'm just gonna say, like, because these questions are a little whack, the numbers are a little off. I'm just gonna say the numbers are a little off and just put that as answer because I don't see any other answer that makes sense. Okay, next question. I hope in the actual FE exam the numbers are actually, again, this question I don't gamble, so it's gonna be a little bit interesting, but I think I can guess a little bit on what it is. So if there's like four, like diamond, heart, spades, and I don't know the other one. So diamond would be 1/4. There's four of them, right? Usually. So probably drawing one card from each deck. Um, okay. An ace on the second. How many ace cards are there in the fucking deck? Um, I'm gonna guess four because there's four different types, and then divide by 52. And the ace of hearts is one for the third. I'm guessing is that. Um, a little harder question because I haven't ever gambled, but I'm hoping my intuitive skills buy me the win. Apparently it's C. So multiply that and you get C. So you can see over here is what I get. So this is a sample. So what is the mean of this? So I already can guess it's probably, no, actually I can't guess. I have to just calculate it. So the summation of n, which is equivalent to saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for now, I, and then xi equal mean average. So in this case, we could say 70, you have to divide it, sorry. So 1 divided by 5, parentheses 71.3, 74.0 plus 74.25 plus 78.54 plus 80.6 equals average. 1 divided by 5, parentheses 71.3 plus 74 plus 74.25 plus 78.54 plus 80.6, which is 75.7. So I don't even have to do a standard deviation, it's just D. I'm just going to accept that as D and move on because you have no time to be a dillywagger. Um, the water content of a soil for about outside is 14.2. Standard deviation of 2.3. All right, we're doing this. So, yeah. All right. So, what we know about this case is that we can find something called distribution. It's a normal distribution, which means it's something like this. An average is 4.2, which means that the length over here is 2.3, as one standard deviation tells us. So, 14.2 plus 2.3 is 16.5. So, 16.5. Over here is minus. So 14.2 minus 2.3 is about 3, 11.5. 9, which I could have done with a calculator if I was smarter, because that was a waste of time. So we know that it's about 12, so it's about here, it's about next to, and it's about 16 over here. And now we know this area over here is about 68% because it's one standard deviation. Let's go grab my calculator. 100 minus 68 is 32. So what's the probability that the sample taken, the one is above 16 and below 12? Oh, sorry. No, with a mean of 14.2 and a standard deviation of 2.3. So over here, if we were to count this portion over here, this portion is the 68, right? So what's the probability that the sample taken from the site will have a wire cut above or below 16? You see, this over here has to be greater than 32 because 32 was the cutoff point at 11.9 and 16.5, but smaller than, so increase the area a little bit. So but it can't be that much, so I'm leaning to not being this one, and if these two are not it, so it must be in this case 7. Yeah, it must be 7. So you could do all the math, but I'm not really interested in doing the math. So I mean, I can do the math right now. So we know the standard deviation, so we can in theory just use our x minus x theorem, which you could do. Just note that it's not useful. I mean, you can waste your time doing it, but at the end of the day, doing that is not worth it. So you could do x 16% minus what was it? 14.2 divided by 2.3. And then that equals 16 minus the 14.2 divided by 2.3, which is equivalent to saying 0.7826. And do the same thing with 12 minus 14.2 divided by 2.3. So 12 minus 14.2 equals that divided by 2.3 equals 0.956 something. And then you could go to this portion over here where you would find over here. Just give me a time break over here, the x position. So in this case, we would start, it doesn't matter which one we would, actually it does because this one's greater. So we want, what was it again? Negative 0.7. So in this sense, using this one would be more beneficial. So 0.7 for this one, it's about 24, 24, 21, 0. It's about 0.8 actually. So it's about 21 on one side, 0.21 this side. And then over here, this side is 0.95. 95 is in between these two, which, um, yeah, it's in between. So 0.17 maybe. Add those two up, so 0.38 about. There we go. Either way, you get that as you get that is about give or take C. So yay. So what's the problem doing it is basically looking at the total probability of doing a P and saying, yeah, total probability of 6 throws, right? And then use a C, comma 6 comma 3, because if there is 3 heads, wait, this is partially wrong. We have to do this plus C parentheses 6 comma 2 by 2 6, because you want both probabilities and both probabilities are relevant, so we just add those probabilities together because well, we're not doing and. So here's the little thing that might confuse you. So this one over here is or, and where is it? Let's see the probability chart. Well, over here, law of total probability. You think, but it's addition. What does addition really mean? The probability that either A or B occurs alone, or that both occur together, right? So this one is that neither blue or three, the 2 heads or 3 heads will be thrown if 6 fair coins are tossed. So it's a little different, because it's neither. So it's not this and not that, but um, anything else goes. It's not and I divided by 3i and minus each other, so 3i is one of them. Divided by, it was like 2 to the 1 to wait 6 right here equals that. So it is this, and another one where 6 divided by plus 2i multiplied by 4i divided by 2 6 equal, yeah, okay. parentheses 2 square root of 6 parentheses. I got 15 over 64 on one of them. And the other one, 3, exclamation mark, 3. I get 5 over 16 plus this equals 35 over 64. Summation 0.54, which is B. All right. With that said, we of F around A. Oh God, actually I take it back to calculus, right? Um, we need to go get this form, Taylor series, which is up over here. Most is going to go to here. It looks like it won't even go to there. I think it's just going to be these two. So F of A, which A is 0, so 0, 0, 0 is 1, 8. So we cut out two of them already. And then a derivative of that, 0, 0. All right, so we do a derivative of that, and that's it. So how do we take a derivative of this? You might be asking. So this is equivalent to saying 3x squared plus 4x plus 8 negative 1. With that said, we take a derivative of that, which is bracket this, d dx. And then we say, well, we can convert this into a u, negative 1. And that, the derivative of that, we know is by chain rule, n minus 1, right? N. So it's negative u minus 2, right? But we need a du afterwards. So the inside is needed too. So let's just look at what this is. This is going to be negative 1 divided by, I can already see the answer, 3x squared plus 4x plus 8 squared, right? Now, why do I see the answer? Is because the multiplication du is basically du equals 6x plus 4, right? So 6x plus 4, right? But it's a negative, so it must be b. No matter what you check, it must be b. Because the negatives here, this one does have a negative. It's basically the logic here because the negative sign, there's nothing to delete that negative, so it must be followed through. Therefore, it must be the right answer. And if you look over here, if you look at this, this is about 64, and this is 4, which is 1 over 1/6. So I'm correct. It is B. But you can see how I did the new step before I even wrote the derivative, which is a good thing. Over here, we're doing complex numbers. So 7 plus j, 5.2, and then 3 plus j, 4. We take the conjugate of that most of the time and hope that's the way that this thing is going, which is the conjugate of j4. Why we take the conjugate again? Because this will turn into this form over here. And we'll turn, I mean, we'll just do it. But 9 minus 7j, right? Or I can, sorry, 9 minus 12j, right? The next one, plus 12j, so the middle gets deleted. And it's minus is plus over here, 16. Because the j is negative 1. So j times j equal negative 1 in complex analysis. So over here, 16. So 16 is in the bottom. Now the top one is a doozy. It's 21, right? Did I do something wrong? Because none of these answers look ideal. Oh, wait. I'm so stupid. I'm pretty sure there's a way to do imaginary on the calculator. So you could just do 7 plus I, 5.2, and then 3 plus 3 and 4, and I first, 4. And you have it. You have an easy way to do it. I don't know why I was doing it by hand. I don't know if the PE exam has a hand portion and non-hand portion. So I will still do it by hand. But 21 minus 28j, and then 5.2 multiplied by 3 is 6, 15 point. I don't know why I'm still doing it by hand. J, and then it's again minus and then plus. So it's a plus, and then it's a 5.2 multiplied by 4, which is 20.8. So it's a 40.8 and then minus. Okay, so you do a lot of that. Hopefully it gives you the right answer. I think I made a mistake probably somewhere. Yeah, I already got the right answer by the calculator way. So whatever. Dot product. So you dot product this, that turns into 0. That turns to 5. Wait, I think I did something wrong. Dot AJ, BJ. So you're basically adding 2 plus, oh wait. It's a scalar, right? So this is obviously wrong. So over here, you're multiplying and then adding. So this is negative 4. Over here, I can't even read that because of the things on it. Plus 4 minus 32. There we go. So I knew that's going to be 0. Then minus 31, so it's D. Let's actually finish the along the math section real quick. Here is the cross product of these two. So just write ijk. You can do it more fancy by using index notation of ij, k. But 2, 4, 8, -2, 1, -4. We take a cross product of that. Oh shit. Is there a determinant in my calculator? Like, so half of this thing is doing it by calculator is easier, and you just see if it's like, oh yeah, it's easier. Because sometimes it is dumb for you to even think about. Here's determinant. Yeah, I found it. You see determinant? Now how do you use the matrix here? Um, there. Second matrix A. Oh wait, second matrix edit A, please. Um, can you do 3 columns by 3? Okay. And then we can do 2, 4, 8. Oh wait, it's a cross product, so I can't take a determinant with this thing. Oh shit, is there a cross product here? Sorry, I was wrong. Is there a cross product? Sorry. There's a determinant although transpose inverse reduction. There's no. Is there really no? Okay, we have to do it by hand. Sorry. There must be. This calculator doesn't have that, huh? I'm just gonna say that doesn't have it and just do it by hand because why not? Okay, so the trick on this one is that notice that there's two groups and notice where it is different. So we only attack those. So the first few is different. So we'll start with an I. So over here we have -16 minus 8, which is -24. So obviously it's A or B, and this is wrong. I. We check I, which is going to be -8, but it's already going to have a negative. -8, and then minus minus, so plus 16. Okay. J. That is not correct. Something I must have fucked up somewhere. 2, 4, 8, -2, 1, -4. So it's -8. No, wait, I genuinely -16 minus -8. Yeah, that's correct. The I is -8 and then plus 16. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is 8 and it's negative, so it's A. I'm such a dumbass. Okay, so clearly relied too much on the calculator in my life and couldn't get simple arithmetic, right? Um, but this is taking a determinant, so I would recommend use a calculator. So go to your calculator, go to your math function. How do you do this? Edit 3 by 3, go do this with your calculator and just fill out this page. And it's important, I mean, these questions are more important, in my opinion, because I mean, I'm not sure actually. Are they important? No, I don't think so. Never mind. I'm just going to do this. I'm not sure. Don't ask me actually, because I am just a noob. So here we go. You see that? That is beautiful. So that's 42, which is D, and then we just move on. Should I explain how this works? I'm not sure, but the determinant is the area of this parallelogram, and basically, if they ask you for the volume of the parallel, you just take a determinant of that and you're done. It's not really, and I'm sure you know the determinant, unless you want me to write it, but I don't think you need to, unless you want me to, but I should. So the determinant of this is 2, -2, 1, 4, 2, 2, 1, 5, 4. And you take a determinant like this, and you take a row like that. So it's like 2 bar, 2, 2, 5, 4, and you take a this means determinant, this the single line for us. Sometimes I don't, and sometimes not, but in this case, so you take another determinant, which is doing a 8 minus 10, right? And so on and so forth. You do the same thing with this one, so you go across like this, and this one you go across like this. And basically you get the D in the end, so that's wonderful. Okay, cofactor matrix. Oh, yeah, I have no idea how to do cofactor yet. I forgot how to do it, but I do know how to do reverse. You do this. And I think the cofactor matrix probably is just like a division or something like that. But here's another trick. In your calculator, if you go to matrices, I think half the time it's like, do you know it? There's an inverse function over here. So basically you go to edit 3 by 3 and you go okay, and then you just do it. Actually, cofactor probably is in here. Knowing how thorough the thing is, it probably has to, there you go, determinant 3 order. Cofactor probably is in here too. Cross products even in here. So just look over here and eventually you'll find a cofactor probably. I don't know where it is, but yeah. No, there's even inverse here. There's definitely there's definitely cofactor somewhere. I just can't find it. I'm not making a deal. Okay, so instead of doing all that, we're just going to the calculator way because in the ancient past we used to not have calculators and have to do it by hand. But in this modern world, you need to know how to use all your tools. Oh, all your tools. So use the inverse when you can. Once I figure it out. You see, half the time I don't even know how to use the inverse, so it's gonna be a fun day of learning. So I get this. So that looks like this matrix here, but it's not. Shit, did I make a mistake? I must have made a mistake in inputting it. But I know that's correct because if you think about it, if one row is, I mean, matrix has a certain pattern to it. So if some row is correct and the other one doesn't even look like the other row, so that means that it's most likely just is correct because of how matrices work. But I should probably double check in the case. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it is C. I made a mistake on the calculator again. So yeah, make sure you know how to use your calculator, unlike me. Here you go. Yeah. So C. If they ask for a cofactor, I'm actually gonna have to search that up, so I won't be able to do it today. Inverse of this. Oh, great. We're just gonna do this stuff. Okay. So we'll go to math again, and I know the inverse of this is AB minus BC. Wait, AB DC. Bar. I believe it's 2, 1 minus minus, and then inverse these two or something like that, and take a determinant of that. I'll take a determinant. But I also think the inverse. Oh, the joint is given here. Probably shows over here. I swear the 2 by 2 inverse was here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm fibbing here. Okay, I think I'm fibbing. Oh well. Excuse me. Oh well. I was wrong. Unfortunate. Well, it doesn't matter. Your calculator has a method to do it. And maybe it's time for me to like set up this calculator to have a 2 by 2 automatically. So make B, matrix B into a 2 by 2 automatically. And then you just plug into here this thing. I'm not sure if you're allowed to calculate in every section of the test, but at this point I'm getting annoyed. So I am just using the calculator like a maniac. And according to this calculator, this is the answer. So that means it is D. Oh, well, that's coincidence. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because I actually need to look up how to do this cube boot thing. So I don't remember how to do it. So